They say some nights you can feel the walls breathing. That's how Lina first sensed the magic. Traveling late, worn out, carrying a suitcase and a heart full of doubt, she stepped into the lobby of the Hotel California. Not the legendary one with neon signs, but a modest, aging hotel in a small desert town off the interstate. The sign was faded, the brass bell at the front desk jangled hollowly when she entered. It was 11:45 p.m. She had no reservations. All she had was a letter, a printed, shaky email from a talent show contest she'd entered weeks before, announcing she was a semi-finalist and had to show up in person by midnight to audition. She arrived exhausted, late, and with no place to stay. The front desk clerk, a young man named Marco, looked at her with tired eyes. "Hotel's full," Marco said, regurgitating the standard line. "I'm so sorry, miss." Lina clutched her envelope. "Please, just for a few hours. I have to sing tomorrow morning. I have to audition." Her voice cracked. Marco hesitated. The computer behind him showed no vacancy. But he noticed the envelope, the urgency on her face, her shaking hands. He thought of his own sister, chasing dreams in a city far away. He closed his eyes for a moment. "Wait here," he said quietly. He disappeared behind a door. Minutes passed. Lina watched the old ceiling fan in the lobby, feeling every second tick by tick. He returned. "There's one room," he said. "It's been out of service for repairs. But I cleared the leaks, changed the sheets, cleaned the bathroom just a moment ago. It's yours if you promise to vacate by 9 tomorrow." Lina's eyes welled with grateful disbelief. She nodded. "Thank you." He smiled, faintly. "Get some rest. Your audition, you'll need every note." Lina's backstory: she was born in a small town in Ohio, daughter of a mechanic and a schoolteacher. Ever since she was young, she loved to sing. At 8, she sang in church. At 15, she snuck into karaoke bars. At 22, she nearly gave up when her first try at a reality TV music contest failed. She worked odd jobs, traveled, picked up gigs in diners and small halls, always writing songs in her notebook. But none of those jobs paid enough to cover travel or auditions in big cities. That's how she ended up in that aging hotel in a remote town, heart full of ambition, but no guarantee that her dreams would pan out. The next morning, the hotel's breakfast room was dim. Lina sipped lukewarm coffee, eyes fixed on the golden envelope that confirmed the audition time, 10 a.m., 3 hours drive away. She found Marco sweeping the lobby. "Thank you again," she said. "I don't know how to repay you." Marco shrugged. "Pay it forward someday," he replied. She left, suitcase in hand, and drove under a sky turning dusty rose. At the audition hall, crowds filled the waiting rooms. People rehearsed, warmed up, buzzed with nervous energy. Lina's heart pounded. She watched others, street performers with impressive flair. She felt like an amateur in a stadium full of pros. She was assigned a number, 57. She waited. When her turn came, the stage lights felt hot, the cameras felt heavy, the judges' faces stern. Her throat clenched. She closed her eyes, thought of Marco, the hotel, the kindness of a stranger offering her that room, that chance. She inhaled, placed her fingers on the mic stand, steadied herself. The backing track began. A guitar strum, drums, bass. She launched into Hotel California, not to copy the classic rock version, but her own style, soft, soulful, emotional, with quiet verses and a soaring chorus. Her voice cracked at first, but then she found strength. Halfway through, her vision blurred. She saw the lights above her blur into halos, she swallowed tears. The judges looked surprised, they weren't expecting a singer of her quiet intensity. She turned the words around. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas, rising up through the air. She changed subtle notes. She held the final chorus long. At the last lines, her voice broke, then soared. The room fell silent. When she finished, there was a small pause, then a hush, then applause, timid at first, then stronger. She opened her eyes, tears sliding down her cheeks. She didn't know whether she made it through or not. She stepped off stage, her knees trembling. She wandered into the backstage hallway, clutching her sheet music, and slumped on a bench. A door opened, one of the judges, a well-known music producer named Carla Martinez, stepped out. She looked Lina in the eyes. "You have a gift," Carla said softly. "We'd like to send you through to the next round. But more than that, tell me, what's your story?" Lina told her of her struggle, her travels, the many rejections, the tiny audition fee she almost couldn't afford, the hotel room that a stranger gave her despite no vacancy. Carla listened, nodding. "People don't expect boldness from quiet voices," Carla said. "You surprised me tonight." She touched Lina's hand gently. "We'll give you a golden buzzer." Golden buzzer, the moment every contestant dreams of, who means instant advancement to the finale, bypassing many elimination rounds. The announcement came later on stage, with the audience, cameras, judges, exclamations. But the truth is, nobody expected Lina. She had flown under the radar, modest and unknown. The audience gasped when Carla pressed the golden buzzer. Confetti exploded. She ran to Lina, crying, hugging her, joy flooding. But the real unexpected turn happened days later, off camera. Lina's story got attention, social media, press, fans reaching out. A crowdfunding page sprang up, help Lina reach her dreams, studio time, travel, support. People donated modest sums from all over the US, many from small towns like hers, many from people who had once felt invisible and now felt seen. One donation came from Hotel California, the small hotel where Marco had let her stay. It was anonymous, but the manager included a note, "Thank you for reminding us that kindness matters. May your voice echo in hearts everywhere." That gift covered Lina's further travel expenses, lodging, instruments, coaching. Meanwhile, Marco's hotel began receiving messages, calls, offers. The story had cast that unassuming hotel into a new light. People wanted to stay there, to support the place that had helped a star be born. The hotel floorboards creaked a little less, the walls seemed warmer, the staff's faces more hopeful. Lina advanced in the competition. In the final performance, she again sang with that soulful intensity, with the backing of her new supporters, her dreams, and the memory of that small hotel and the kindness of one clerk who chose compassion over policy. When she won, yes, she won, she dedicated her victory to every stranger who ever offered kindness, to Marco, to hotels like that, to the unseen, to those whose voices have been quieted. She promised to start a foundation to help future musicians from small towns who couldn't afford travel or auditions. But there's a twist near the end. A week after her win, Lina returned to thank Marco in person. She flew back to that desert town. The hotel sign looked the same, weathered but proud. Inside, the lobby was buzzing. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was happening outside. The hotel had been refurbished, painted fresh, renewed by donations and attention. The manager handed Lina the key to a newly redone suite, named the Golden Buzzer Suite. Lina walked down the hallway, silent. She entered the old room, the one Marco had cleared for her. The walls were repainted, the linens crisp, the room glowing. On the nightstand lay a guitar, engraved, "To Lina, from Hotel California, where dreams found shelter." She sat on the bed, struck speechless, tears carving tracks down her cheeks. Then Marco entered. He was older, more lined, but his eyes shone. They hugged. He said, "You deserve every note you hit, every cheer you got. And I just offered you a room. You offered the world a voice." They talked for hours, of dreams, kindness, life. Lina realized that her victory wasn't just personal, it had become a ripple of goodwill, helping small towns, small people, small hotels. The power of one act of compassion had changed her world, and had begun changing others' lives too. On her last night, she stood at the window. The desert wind whispered. She sang softly, Hotel California, not the same way as before, but transformed. It was her tribute, her thanks, her offering. The moonlight caught the strings. Emotional climax, revisited. At the televised final, when she won, the judges, contestants, audience leapt to their feet. Confetti streamed. The host, voice-breaking, said, "That golden buzzer moment, nobody expected it, changed a girl's life and many lives beside her." The camera panned to her parents, crying, to small towns watching at home, to Marco and the hotel audience. But the biggest transformation was in Lina, who had carried hope and given it forward. In the backstage room after her win, she received a call. A young singer in rural Kansas had watched her story and decided never to quit. Another in Appalachia sent a video of herself singing. She pledged, for every young singer with no means, her foundation would sponsor travel and audition fees. And she would visit small towns, stay in humble hotels, and perform there, giving back. Conclusion: uplifting message. The world often waits for grandeur, the sweeping gestures, the flash, the spotlight. But sometimes real magic springs from the quietest rooms, the simplest acts of kindness. A stranger's decision to break a no-vacancy rule, to help when it's inconvenient, to trust potential over policy, that's where hope blooms. Golden buzzer moment nobody expected. Hotel California isn't just about winning a contest. It's about how compassion creates ripples you never anticipate. It reminds us that we're all connected, the clerk behind the desk, the singer chasing her dream, the audience watching on screens. When kindness meets courage, something extraordinary happens. In every town, in every dusty motel, in every full house or the no-vacancy moment, we have a choice, to turn someone away or to let their dreams find shelter. And one act of generosity, however small, can become a golden buzzer for someone's life, lifting them up beyond what they thought possible. May you carry this story in your heart. May you believe that your kindness matters, that even small gestures can spark change. May you, in your own life, be the voice, the hand, the moment of hope for someone who never saw it coming. Because the world, as Lina discovered, needs unexpected golden buzzer moments, offered from one soul to another.